Hi, Sofians. This is the 37th JCRC rally. I'm Yi Hong and I'll be your moderator for today. The sequence of today's events is as follows. Firstly, we'll be introducing our candidates for Social Service Director and Finance Director. The candidates' proposals will be giving their speech, followed by the candidates who will give their speeches as well. We will then end off with a Q&A segment. First, let me introduce our only candidate for Finance Director this year. We have Jillian Ong from Dentistry. Jillian is currently in year 3 and these are her past commitments. We will now invite Joel, a proposer, to give his speech. Joel, please.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me, right? Testing. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, hi, I'm Joel. I'm proposing for Jillian, for her running for Finance D. Yeah, Jillian's been in Hall for the past 3 years, going towards 4. I think she is a conscientious worker. I think she's familiar with the ins and outs of the committees of Hall. I think moving forward, why she's running for Finance Director is she will talk more about it later, but I feel she's more than capable enough to manage the finances of Yusof well. So I think given her experience in Yusof Works, she is more than familiar with how purchasing and how orders will be made. Beyond that itself, I think being part of the previous JCRC as well, she's also familiar with the inner workings of the hall. So with that in mind, yeah, this is what I'm proposing for Julian. Okay, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Joel. Now let's invite Jillian to give her speech. Jillian, please.
Hi everybody, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi Yusuf. I'm very honored to stand before all of you for for my running for the position of Finance Director. As Joel has mentioned and Yi Hong has gone through, I've served in a number of leadership roles previously, and that's why I think I would be suitable for the role of Finance Director. I previously served as the head of Yusof Works this year, and in the previous AY, I was the media director. So with that in mind, I believe that my background and experience makes me well suited for this role. I believe that I have a keen eye for detail and very analytical mindset, as well as the ability to balance most people's perspectives. And I feel that this is going to be very critical in the role of the finance director, where I will be managing claims and helping to settle budget defense. My dream for Yusof in the next AY is to have a community where where we are able to create the experiences that we want for each other. And like it or not, finance is a big part of this in terms of having to purchase logs and settling procs and all that and all the different protocols. So what I hope is to be able to make this process a little bit easier for everybody. And I know that as the AY ends and as a new AY begins, there will be many transitions in terms of leadership, as well as different people stepping up to plan different events and sending in different proposals. And I hope to be the one who is making that process a little bit easier by easing the financial protocols. Yeah, with that in mind, I just hope to establish a good working relationship with all the finance committee members as well as the secretaries involved. And I'm hoping for a fruitful year in which we are able to do the things that we want to do in our different CCAs, in our different groups. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to serving you in the next EY. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jillian. Now let's go into our only candidate for the Social Service Director role. We have Diana from Psychology. Diana is currently in year 1 and these are her commitments. We will now invite her proposer, Zining, to give her speech. Zining, please.
Hi, sorry, can hear?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Zining, Diana's proposer. For those of you who haven't had the chance to interact with her, I hope that you'll be able to learn more about her from my sharing. So for context, I work with Diana for elderly services and expats. Personally, I think everyone who has met Diana will agree that she's extremely genuine and sweet. Like, I don't think she'll ever kill an end that kind of sweet. She's always the first person to offer help whenever we have tight deadlines, and her willingness to help others really shows her dedication to teamwork and community. On a more professional level, I have never seen Diana submit subpar work. She puts in her best in what she chooses to do, which is why I know she isn't running for this role for the sake of doing it. Having sat through the interviews of so many people, Diana is the only person I have accepted into both comms. The opinions about her were also consistent among my co-heads. Funny story, I actually really want her to be my incoming heads for both comms, but Ong beat me to it. I think this only shows how much I trust her ability to lead. She may be a freshie, but I hope that you aren't too quick to judge. I believe that with her sincerity and hard work, she will do a very good job. It takes a lot of courage for a freshie to step up and run for a JCRC role, and I hope that you will all give her your support. Thank you.
Thanks, Zining. Now let's invite Diana to give her speech. Diana, please.
Hello. Thank you, Zening. Hello everyone, I'm Diana from C Block and I'm running for Social Service Director. I guess to start off, I would like to run for Social Service Director as I've always believed that the true measure of a community is how we come together to support one another. And I'm also passionate on building initiatives that could help make a positive impact of the people around us. And in USAP, I've been able to volunteer through Minds, Elderly Service, and Experts. And participating in these CCAs has given me a sense of fulfillment and joy, such that I want other residents to experience this as well. So my goal in the next AY is to create a culture of service and compassion in USAF, and I hope to make it achievable by organizing ad hoc volunteering events. And whether it is helping out at a shelter or simply spending time with those in need, I hope that you would join me in this journey and we can all create a community that we can be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. We will now have a 5 minutes intermission and we'll be back for the Q&A session at 7:14. For the Q&A section, you can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can also log into menti.com and enter the code as you see on the screen. We will reconvene in 5 minutes at 7:14. Thank you. Hi, welcome back to the JCRC rally. We will now be starting the Q&A segment. I'll first open the floor to the current 36 JCRC and SCRC members, and afterwards, I will read the questions posted on the Mentimeter. I will now pass on my time to the JCRC and SCRC.
Hi. Okay, my first question is from Diana. This question is from Yeah. So the question is, can you identify one difficulty that any of the social service communities experienced this year, and how will you as a SSD support them in tackling the difficulty you mentioned?
Hello. I think for one difficulty that the current social service face would be the lack of commitment, I feel. I think initially when we started off joining CCAs, a lot of people were keen to take part in a lot of different CCAs and trying to indicate interest. And I think they didn't realize that it will result in a burnout or like really packed schedules. So I hope that moving forward, I would like to check in with my members and ensure that they are really sure of taking up these um, responsibilities, because I think sometimes we kind of overlook the heavy, like the workload of social service, because the frequencies are quite high, and I think you kind of have to take up time from your weekdays and weekends. So I think it's important to preempt the volunteers and residents that this is what you have to commit to, and just ensure that they are really 100% sure of volunteering with us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so my next question is for Jillian. So Jillian, you mentioned that um you want to make the finance process easier for uh everybody next year. And what are your plans to do? Yeah, what are your plans to make the processes easier in terms of like financial claims?
Actually, I think right now the processes are quite comprehensive, but I think that they are a bit daunting for especially for freshies or perhaps people who don't have so much experience stepping up in order to settle claims, especially for big purchases such as those who might be in EW and say SMC for like really mass purchases. My plan is to simplify and make the forms a bit easier to expedite so that there are um as in I don't plan on like having any members skip any steps. I just want to make it a bit more intuitive to use. I understand that for certain really large protocols, it's a bit difficult to say find three different external sources. I think that cannot be helped, but I just just want to make the process a bit more intuitive and easy for say especially new members to use. Besides that, I actually think that the financial protocols in place are quite comprehensive and um beyond adjusting and tweaking the forms very slightly, it's really just a matter of making sure all members in the financial committees and all the sectresses know exactly how claims work and how to claim smoothly and efficiently so that there aren't any backlogs. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any more questions from the JCRC and SCRC? Last call for the JCRC and SCRC before we move on to the Mentimeter. If there are no more questions from the JCRC and SCRC, we will now open the floor. For the menti.com, first question for Diana. What plans do you have and hope to achieve for SSD Com?
Sorry. I think I was told that the heaviness of my workload as an SSD depends on what I set out to plan for myself. And I think that if I were to be taking up this position, I wouldn't want to fall short of anything. So as I already mentioned in my vision, that I hope to push out more ad hoc volunteering events for they are open to the residents, so they are not only limited to those already in the social service com, because I found that um, the social service com capacity are quite small, and it doesn't really allow other residents who are interested to volunteer. So I hope to work together with other beneficiaries. I think one that I have in mind will be Willing Hearts and also Habitat for Humanity, and these are I think two of the many beneficiaries that have quite far reach. And I hope that while the response may be a little bit like I will not know the response for now, but I hope to kind of push out these ad hoc events, and hopefully will gain positive support from the other residents.
Thank you, Diana. On to the next question for Gillian. Why do you want to run for Finance D when the current MD slot is still open?
Okay, so I think for most of my time in Yusof, I have spent most of it involved in the media side. So in year one, I was quite actively involved in Yusof Works as just a regular member. In year two, I was media director, and then in year three, I was Yusof Works head. Um, as for this question, while the role of the MD is something that I am used to, I think that it is quite crucial and at the core of the role itself to have fresh and new ideas and to have like fresh blood. So, and I really hope that, especially in something of the aspect of creativity, that there will be other people who are willing to step up to take this role and to like expand their horizons. With that said, Finance D in particular, I think it's something that I would be good at serving in, because again, I am familiar with the processes and I know what it's like to work in the JCRC, and it's a role that not many people are familiar with. So, and I think that this is something that I would like to try out for, if that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Gillian. Another question for Gillian as well. What leadership roles have you taken up in Hall, and how do you think you fared?
The main leadership roles I've taken up in Hall include the media director in year two and Yusof Works head in year three. Just as a preface, I think I have been very blessed and lucky to have had very good people working under me. I don't think anybody does a perfect job as a leader. I think that many there are many instances where things can go wrong. And in both the years that I was serving as MD and as EW head respectively, I was very fortunate to have a community of subcommittee heads and committee heads who were working with me. I personally think and like to believe that I took on a collaborative role and was able to allow those who are working under me to, again, in media, just to like expand their creativity and I guess develop their own learning and working styles. Yeah. In terms of leadership itself, I'm quite fortunate that whatever work was allocated did well, and I hope that I did at the very least a decent job at leading those around me in fulfilling their whole duties and in the aspect of media to just grow their own personal style and enjoy doing what they do. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jillian. Are there any other questions from the Mentimeter? Please ask away. Another question for Jillian regarding the previous question about leadership roles. What are some areas for improvement that you might apply to this role?
I think if I were to step into the role of finance D, I think something that I would have to do more conscientiously and consciously would be to be a bit more involved in the activities of the members under me, which would be the finance com. Not that hand holding is necessary, but I think that there is less creative liberty that can be taken when it comes to processing claims and paperwork. So I would take it upon myself to regularly check in with members on their work and their progress in terms of processing claims and writing up proposals. Another thing that Devon went through with me was coordinating budget defense. I think that is honestly one of the biggest, that is one of the biggest responsibilities, if not finance D, which involves a lot of collaboration that cannot be passive. So stepping forward, if I were to take up this role, I hope to be actively involved in helping to plan and manage budget defense, as well as helping all the different heads settle their claims and collaborate across the different CCAs for different, for different event proposals. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Jillian. Well, one more for you. Knowing that dentistry has its own timetable that is different from the rest, how will you keep up with hall activities and your studies?
I've been doing it for 3 years. Okay. The work of finance D, for better or for worse, it's something that can be done in its own time as long as it is submitted by the deadline. So fortunately for me, there is a bit more wiggle room when it comes to completing work. Yeah, I think that's all. It's something that I've been able to manage so far, and I trust in my ability to continue to manage my time well. Thank you.
Julian, one more question for you. Where some who ordered the windbreaker did not receive the windbreaker or a refund. And when clarifying, or essentially they just want to clarify about the situation of the windbreaker and how would you show your ability as a finance D because of the troubles from this issue?
Okay. I apologize to whoever sent in this question. If I missed your message, because I think I replied to everybody whose message I recall seeing. Basically, this windbreaker order was placed, I think, at the end of last AY, but because the windbreaker did not receive enough orders, the orders had to be cancelled. However, because the money was paid directly to the hall account, I actually just had to inform the SCRC and the hall staff, the hall office, about this situation, and I passed them the contacts of everybody who paid for the windbreaker, and they should have carried out the refund. If a refund hasn't been sent out to you, please contact me and I'll let the office staff know. But as far as I know, I've done everything within my control to ensure that the people who paid were able to get a refund. And I've tried my best to communicate with the hall office. So please let me know. Please reach out to me. Just drop me a message and I'll try to get it set up for you. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Gillian. Question for Diana now. If you were a tree, what tree would you be?
I don't really know much about trees. I got rejected from Gripcom.
Thanks, Diana. Any last questions from the floor before we end off the Q&A segment? The Q&A segment will end in 2 minutes at 7:34. Hi all, we will close the Q&A segment now. And with that, we've come to the end of this year's JCRC rally. The voting portal will be open tonight at 12 a.m. and it will close on Friday, 19th April at 2359. Do remember to cast your votes. Thank you.